Well, welcome back everyone. Now it's your turn to do some calculations. I'm going to use the Framingham data set and ask you to calculate some of the various measures of incidence that we've been talking about. So here's your first problem set. What we have here is a table showing the relationship between males and females and whether they survived or didn't survive the 24 years of follow-up. We have 1,944 men, 2,490 women. 843 of the men did not survive the 24 years of follow-up, 707 of the women. In total, we have those 4,434 people, men and women together, and in total, 1,550 people died during the 24 years of follow-up. So here's your calculations. Here's the homework I'm asking you to consider. Can you measure the 24-year cumulative incidence of death, the estimated risk of death, among first all 4,434 participants, and then separately just among the men in that table, and finally separately among the women? Do the calculations, and the next time we'll go through the answers. Okay, welcome back everyone. Hope you've done the calculations. Remember what your homework assignment was I gave you this table describing the relationship between males versus females in regards to their risk, their estimated risk of dying during the 24 years of follow-up. And what I asked you to do was to calculate the cumulative incidence, the estimated risk, first for all the participants, for all 4,434, and then just for the men and just for the women. So remember, a cumulative incidence, an estimated risk, is a proportion. So if you're talking about the estimated risk, the cumulative incidence among all 4,434 people, there are 1,550 deaths out of the 4,434 people. So the estimated risk would be just 1,550 divided by the 4,434. Same calculation was asked to do among the men. There were 1,944 men, of which 843 of them died. Their estimated risk would be 843 divided by the 1,944. And then finally, the same calculation to calculate the estimated risk, the cumulative incidence of death among the women. 2,490 women, 770 of them died. Estimated risk is 707 divided by 2,490. So those are the calculations that I got. 43% for men, 28% for women, and overall 35%. And before we leave, just notice the overall estimated risk from all participants, 35%, falls between the higher risks that the men have and the lower risks that the women have. It's an average. It's an average of men's risk with women's risk that are being weighted by the number of men, 1,944, and the number of women, 2,490. We're talking more about averages and weightings later on in this class, but I just wanted to point it out now. See you next time.